Secretary of State, Secretary Jeremy Wright.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'm grateful to the honourable gentleman not just for what he said this afternoon, but for the open approach that he's taken to the discussion of these matters. As he says, it is one of the toughest policy challenges that we face, and I believe we will only resolve it if we're able to work across these benches and make sure that what we produce is as robust as it can be. And as he also said, there will be a considerable amount of resistance to what is proposed in this white paper, and we will all need to hold our nerve in the face of that pressure. He asked me about legislation, and it is our intention to legislate in the next parliamentary session. But he will understand that there's a tension here between the urgency that we all accept exists to tackle these harms and indeed to legislate to do so, and the need to make sure that we have taken account of the views and the thinking that others can contribute. He knows that I've sought to do that up to this point, and I will seek to do it from this point on, and I want to make sure that we have got this as robust as we can, that we've got it right, that we have understood the detail, and that it will stand up to the kind of scrutiny and pressure that he rightly describes. But with that tension in mind, we will go as quickly as we can. In relation to electoral integrity, he heard me say a moment or so ago that this white paper does not represent the sum total of the government's actions in relation to harms on the internet more broadly. He will know that the Cabinet Office will imminently be bringing forward their own Defending Democracy piece of work, and I hope that what he will find in that piece of work is a good deal of the material that he has referred to, and indeed a good number of the responses the government will give to the excellent piece of work produced by the DCMS Select Committee, some of which, as he says, is dealt with by this white paper, some will be dealt with in that document. In relation to disinformation, he knows that disinformation is one of those harms that we've identified in this white paper as needing the attention of the regulator. And there are a number of things that we believe can be done. And we will expect the regulator, in its codes of practice and in the duty of care more broadly, to focus on the need to make sure that authoritative sources are prioritised over non-authoritative sources, that fact-checking is available, and there are other measures that the regulator can take too, not least the point I made about public education. Because in relation to many of the issues on which disinformation is focused, we believe that the answer is, at least in part, to ensure that our fellow citizens are equipped with the skills they need to understand what they should be looking for to determine what they believe and what they do not. And that is a legitimate focus for this regulator too. Finally, he mentioned competition, and I understand his focus on this. And again, I make the same point. It will be dealt with, but dealt with elsewhere. And he will know about the Furman review, which has recently been completed at the government's instigation. We want to take very seriously what Professor Furman and his panel have said, and we will respond in due course. And when we do so, he will have the opportunity to take this matter up again, as I know that he will.
Thank you.